Wagwan YouTube, you absolute legends. I'm just gonna make a video on Bradford City's class run in the Capital One Cup. They beat the likes of Arsenal and Aston Villa in one of the most magical runs of cup history. It will never be forgotten by the Bradford faithful. In the start of the season, Bradford got rid of some players like Craig Fagan, Mark Stewart and Marcel Seep. The Bantams would keep some strong assets like Bermudan hero, Nhaki Wells and Bradford fan favourite, James Hansen. They would make some great signings in that season, including the likes of a young John Egan who you could recognise from Sheffield United, and an experienced yet reliable Gary Jones. We made multiple classy signings which are on screen. On the 21st of July, 2012, Bradford City would start their pre-season journey. They started it against Tadcaster Albion, managing to cruise the game 7-1 with Ross Hanna scoring a brace, Andrew Davies, James Hansen, Nhaki Wells, Kyle Reid and Swain getting on the score sheet. This would be one of the two friendlies that we actually played with fans in attendance, the other one being a 3-1 loss in Derby Day versus Bradford Park Avenue. In Bradford City's first game in the Capital One Cup, playing against League One opposition, Notts County, the citizens would end up winning 1-0 at extra time with a 95th minute winner by star James Hansen. The first game in City's League Two season was away at Martin Allen's Gillingham FC. Phil Parkinson's Bradford Army lost 3-1, but Nhaki Wells scored one penalty. On a faithful night on the 28th of August, Bradford played against a Premier League promotion-chasing side in Gianfranco Zolla's Watford. Former Celta Vigo winger Ikechi Anaya put Watford ahead in the 71st minute with a quite stunning 25-yard effort. Kyle Reid scores with only 6 minutes remaining, and so in injury time, new winger Gary Thompson slots it home to knock out the then Championship club and to book their place in the third round of the Capital One Cup. Almost a month after the fantastic day at Watford, Bradford had won 5 of 8 of their league games, and in the Capital One Cup, they were tied with fellow League Two outfit Burton Albion in what was an exciting cup game would turn to pain as Albion would score 2 goals past Matt Duke to take a 2-0 lead. The story doesn't end though, as Nhaki Wells scores to make it 2-1 in the 83rd minute. As it was going to injury time, City had no hope to keep their cup status until out of nowhere, the star of Bermuda, Nhaki Wells would score a last-second equaliser to take the game into additional time. In additional time it looked like nothing really happened, but also with seconds renaming step-forward Scouse fullback Stefan Darby, who would score an outside-of-the-box screamer to win the game. This was also Derby's only goal in claret and amber colours. Following this lucky escape, Bradford were tied against Premier League club Wigan Athletic away at the DW Stadium. This resilience from a League Two Bradford side against a top-flight team was watched and considered in by many. Bradford would fight for a well-earned 0-0 draw to shock many fans. This would now be taken to penalties. The citizens would end up shocking everyone and their dogs with a 4-2 win on penalties, as experienced goalkeeper Matt Duke would have one of the games of his life. With us now in the quarter-finals of the Capital One Cup, there were many ties that would not be good for Parkinson's side, but they got one of the worst possible ties, being put up against an Arsenal side who had just heroically beat Reading 7-5 in their cup tie. The stage was set just for Arsenal at Valley Parade, but an ambitious Phil Parkinson just wanted to have the best of it all. Instead of not turning up and accepting defeat, the Bantams would score a 16th minute goal by Gary Thompson as the faithful at the parade went mental. Could they bring back the old times? No. Arsenal went on to score at the 88th minute. Sadly this time, Bradford couldn't score an injury time winner in normal time nor extra time, so it was taken to a penalty shootout, and the eyes of England were watching this game. The first person who took a penalty was by Rory Micadel against current Juventus number 1 Wojciech Szczesny was spotted in off the fingertips of Szczesny. The second penalty of the game was took by Santi Cazorla and it was saved by Matt Duke. Bradford's second penalty was took by experienced midfielder Gary Jones. He slotted it in the top left corner as the Paraders were 2-0 up in the shootout. Arsenal's second taker is Marwan Chamakh. He hit the post and Bradford was still 2-0 up. Bradford's third penalty taker was Stefan Darby and he would slot his penalty on the bottom right corner, but the Polish international would save his shot. To make matters slightly worse, Jack Wiltshire would score to make it 2-1. This time, Alan Connell would score to lead 3-1 versus the Gunners. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would score to make it 3-2 and Gary Jones missed. Now it is took to the last man, Thomas Vermaelen. He has the pressure of his whole club. The fans are watching. The players are watching. The coaches are watching. Everyone is watching. He shoots and it is safe. Everyone rejoiced and England was in shock that such a massive team like Arsenal were knocked out by the plucky old Bantams. Bradford City were tied to yet another Premier League side in Aston Villa.
You're joking. Not another one?
First semi-final leg was at home in Valley Parade. Bradford would outplay the villains with an Hacky Wells goal from a corner, and remember when I said Matt Duke had the game of his life? Think that, but 10x better, producing save after save to keep us out of any trouble. Gary Jones took another corner as it got on the head of Rory McArdle to lead 2-0 and for Gary Jones to get his second assist of the night. Villa's Andreas Weeman got a goal to make it 2-1, but that would be cancelled out by another Gary Jones assist. This time to a young Kyle McHugh who made it 3-1, and Bradford left the Valley Parade Stadium with pride, knowing they have got a massive advantage at Villa Park. In the second leg at the home stadium of Aston Villa, it was a 1-0 lead from the villains at half-time, and we know this is a game we can't mess about in. Gary Jones gets his fourth assist in the two legs as the man himself, James Hansen, gets a equaliser. Aston Villa would end up winning 2-1, with a late Weeman goal, but the citizens had done all they needed to get through the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup, and they faced upon a final hurdle in Swansea City. Bradford City played against a Swansea City side, but instead of playing at home or at Swansea, we played at the biggest stadium in England, Wembley. In short, we were outclassed by a strong Swansea side 5-0, but in long, a team at the fourth tier of football caused the almost impossible to happen, beating many at the top, only failing on the last hurdle. The world saw this and considered us as a potentially strong side, and that there shouldn't be any jokes around with us, and that we are amazing on our day. We don't talk about what happened on that final though. Thanks for watching. Like if you like this, but dislike if you didn't like it. I won't see anyway. Why would you dislike anyway? You just watched the full video, for God's sake. Peace.
Is it you? Is it me?